Hi, today I would like to discuss about the Python. Python is a programming language, it's an open source programming language, and I would like to show you the installations. And within short period of time, you will learn what is Python and how to write the code in Python. So I'm Christian Mukherjee. Welcome to my class, Introductions to Python. So in this Google, just write Anaconda download and just click the first link, that is individual edition Anaconda. So it will open. Okay. Now this is the Anaconda, and here you will get the your data science toolkit. Now, if you check it clearly, that is over 20 million users worldwide. The open source individual edition distribution is the easiest way to perform Python or R data science and machine learning on a single machine. Means almost 20 million users is using today the Python. So today I will show you how to download this Python. So there are two options you can do. You can download Python separately, and the best option is to download this Anaconda. Anaconda, what is this Anaconda? Anaconda is basically, the a manager you can consider. It will control the all resources necessary to use Python. So the moment you are downloading this Anaconda, so you will get, the IDE for the Python, that is the Spider or PyCharm, and at the same time you will get several a list of packages. It will be downloaded automatically. So let me show you. This is the website, your data science toolkit. So if you click here, so here you will come, that is Anaconda installers. So these discussions is mainly for the, you can download this Anaconda for the Windows, Macs, and the Linux systems. So if you are using this Windows, so in this case you have to think about the what is the bit, whether it is 32-bit or the 64-bit installer. If you are using this Macs, you will have to show, means you have to be careful about this number of bits, whether it is 64-bit graphical installer or 64-bit command line installer. Then for the Linux also, you will get this type of system definitions are given. Now these discussions is mainly for this Windows. So what you have to do, I'm using the 64-bit graphical installer. So you just right click, or you will get here. So you just double click here, so automatically it will download the 64-bit graphical installer. Once the installation is over, then you just go to the locations of this install file. That is most probably in this, if you are using this Windows, so you will you need to visit these download sections. In the download sections, you will get the 64-bit graphical installer. Just right click, go give these, admin privilege and install it. So this is very simple. I'm not downloading it here. So what you have to do, because I have already installed the uh, Anaconda. So what you have to do, so you need to download it from this link. So it will automatically get downloaded to your system. Once you download it, then what you have to do, you select this, installer file, right click. In the right click options, you will get this administrator privilege. With this administrator privilege, you open it. The moment you open it, then what you have to do, it will show you, it's a very simple for any software. It's just like any other softwares, you can install it. Now this thing is, what I need to do next, after this installations, you need to check whether it has been installed properly or not. So here I will type this Anaconda. So you will get this Anaconda prompt, just like this command prompt, but it is little bit different. That is, this is known as this Anaconda prompt. On the top, you will get the location of your file. So here, this type of syntax you will get. I will I will explain it later, because when we are installing different type of packages, what you will find is some packages versions are contradicting to each other. So this type of error you may get, but it's not like that for any case you will get it. That is, this type of error is very simple. It is very simple, as because to debug the error, because if you check it, that is, see here you are getting the command prompt, and when you are, I'm just showing it this. I mean, intentionally I install the two different versions. One version is old, another versions of a package is very latest version. So these two versions are contradicting each other. So during this, boot up of this Anaconda prompt, so it will automatically change what is this, what is the source of error, and it will ignore it. And after that, here you will get the command prompt. See this cursor is blinking, and it is showing that is the locations of the Anaconda and the corresponding, the C colons users. So by default, you will get it. Now this thing is, what I need to do, I need to show you when you are, for what reason you must use this Anaconda. So if you use the command Anaconda list, see See again in this boot up, it will face some kind of problem, because this root of the error is 5win32 bootstrap. So it's 5win32 bootstrap. It is facing some problem, so that's why it is giving. So you will not get this type of error when you are installing this Anaconda. So this thing is, here when you are installing, the Anaconda, by default you will get the list of packages. See this is the name of the package, and the corresponding the version is given, and it is given 536 underscore 0. So what is this 536 underscore 0? It is Python, then 36 means 3.6, the version number. So similarly here you will get the Spytable, SciPy, SCI, then other the Spy, Win32, etc., etc. Now, now another thing is, so I want to use a IDE, interactive developer environment, so to write, or this editor, so to write the code in Python, and for that initially I'm using the Spider IDE. So Spider, I want to start, what will be the command? You write Spider, then you write new. As the meaning is, if you press this enter, so the Spider will open. The purpose of this one is to open a new, Spider editors, and where you will write the code. So there is an alternative approach here. If you type the Spider, so you will get the Spider here. So if you double click, the Spider will open. Now we are discussing, about this Anaconda prompt, about the spider. So let us go and visit the spider. So this is the IDE. This, on the top it is given the spider 3. Spider Python 3.6. So this is the menu bar. In the menu bar, if you click the file, in the file you will get new file. That is open. That is open, last close, open recent. The save as means if you need to save a file. Open means to open an existing file. New file means a new file will be open. And finally, it is a quit. So if you want to quit it, now in this case, you will find this edit button. So this is space, select all, the comment, uncomment, then all this stuff you will get. And at the same time, if you write the code, so what I'm doing, so this is, if I click here, so these ID will open. So this cursor is blinking. So if you need to write the code here. Now there is two approaches you can follow. This first approach is, you give an introductions to the Python. Once you give this introductions to the Python, then you call your students, or request your students to visit your lab sessions, and there's a lab session to discuss in detail about this Python. Alternative approach, you can means start directly with the demo, with the code and etc. So that your students could feel easy. Then you return to this, the theoretical part, or this presentations part, and you jump from this presentations to code, and code to presentation this way. So it will be a beautiful one. A student will, within short period of time, they will assimilate the concept and the coding style. Now, in this case, one thing is very, very important. You go to the tool sections and this click preferences. In the preferences, pop-up menu will open. So here you will get this plain in text font. So I am taking a particular type of font, and rich text font, particular type of font, and corresponding font size I'm fixing. Then see if you reduce the font size to 15, so this apply button will be activated, and if you click OK, the font size will be changed here. So I change the font sizes because for these easy presentations. Now the first thing is I will take you to this next part to this presentation, the theory behind this Python. Prior to that, let us start with a simple code. Now I don't know this coding. I'm very afraid of this coding. I'm a new student. I want to be a data scientist, and a person is dragging me directly, to the Python coding. So the approach may not be accepted to several students, but at the end of the day, you will find that you will be benefited. So Python itself, a lot of syntax are there and a lot of things are there. So if you want to learn this thoroughly, the entire one in a very structured way, so it will take a lot of time. So instead of that, if you follow my steps, so within short period of time, you will learn it. So let us see this print. Print means what? So print means to display to a context or anything. So what I will do, so when you are means learning this any computer programming language, the first term will come this hello world. Say for instance, if you are going to learn the Java programming language, so your trainer will say, okay, what we will do today, we will print the hello world. Now, if you're going to learn the C++, the same thing, this hello world. So what I will do, so I will say this is hello world. Now this thing is, I need to print it. So this in this case, so you can check here in this file. So you are selecting this file. In the file, you go to this, new file. So this new file on the top, you will get this untitled 0.py extension. The file will open, and the file in the text I am writing that is print hello world. Now, in this case, in the Spider, by default, you will get the tree window. This is where you are writing the code. Here you are writing this code, and here you will get the definitions of anything. So if you want to know, if you want to get some information, so if you follow certain instructions or steps, then here you will get this informations of a particular things. Okay. Now at the same time, you can change the size of this window. You can reduce the size, you can increase the size, so this way. And at the same time here, so here you can increase the size. So what I'm doing, so a lot of, see this sections, you will get a lot of print outers here. Okay, so I need to remove all this print. So clear screen, CLS. Okay, CLS. So CLS is basically the clear screen. So the moment you will type and presses enter, so it will remove everything. CLS is the clear screen. Now, the thing is, I have written the code. I want to save it. So what I will do? So click the save button. So in the desktop, let us consider. So I want to save it as example one dot. No need to give this file. So example one dot. So if you save it on the desktop, you will get example one dot py. At the same time, on the top, if you check, that is it is showing that is the name of the file is now example1.py, and its location is c colon users user desktop example1.py. Okay, guys. Now what I will do, I want to run it. So if you want to run it, just click this green triangle button, or you can use this hotkey F5. So you just click. This is given hello world. So in the Java, what you are doing, that is you have to write at least 2-3 lines code in this Python. There's only one thing, the print means was, so print a string where it is output. This is this output window. Here you will get. I'm considering it as a window because by definition, you will get the spider, it has been divided into 3 windows. This is where you will write the code. Here you will get the definition, precisely the function definitions or the method definitions, and then here you will get the display. Okay, this next thing is, so this is a little bit introductions to a spider, how to install this anaconda, then how to get the spider, how to use this anaconda from. Now what I will do, this is the starting point. Now I will build it up on this foundation. I will build the theory. So I will directly go to the presentation. So this is introductions to Python. Okay, so let me open. This is the file. So this is introductions to Python. Now, when you are learning any programming languages, first of all, you must think about, the time frame, that is its historical background. So it is very, very important. So in 1998, Danish computer scientist uh, Stroudsburg developed C++ programming language using C programming language at Bell Laboratory. So in C++ programming language, we got the introductions of object-oriented programming. The simple concept is the class. Most probably you have heard it. If you don't know, no problem. So in 1995, James Gosling and others developed Java programming language in C at Sun Microsystems. At the time, Java was popularly known as Oak after an oak tree that stood outside Gosling's office. So, guys, in 1998 we got C++, in 1995 we got Java programming language, and both of the language is very, very popular because of the concept of object-oriented programming or the class. Now, in 1989, Guido von Rossum developed another programming language popularly known as Python using C. So Python is written in C. Java is also initially it was written in C. So Rossum coined the name from a popular BBC show is known as Monty Python's Flying Circus. So the moment we are saying that is anaconda or the spider, don't think it is related with this, this animal anaconda or this spider. Okay, so they got the name from the popular BBC show. It is known as Monty Python's Flying Circus. The development of three popular languages confirms the use of C programming language to develop different programming languages. So in 1989 we got Python. In 1998 we got C++, and in 1995 we got Java. And all three programming languages are written in C. And all three programming languages, carrying the concept or is built on the concept of object-oriented programming language. So this is the similarity. But one thing you have to be very careful. That is C++ and Java got the, tremendous popularity in this market. And Python, developed much earlier in 1989, and finally it, rocked the market because of its simplicity and its, it is compatibility to implement different machine learning algorithms, deep learning algorithms, etc. Now, this is the guy. This Python is an experiment. So this guy developed the Python programming language, and this is Guido von Rossum on the right hand side. We will get, as per his statement, Python is an experiment in how much freedom programmers need. Now, too much freedom and nobody can meet another score. Too little and expressiveness is in danger. So, what is saying this video one awesome? That is, Python is such a programming language. This Python programming language will give you, some kind of freedom. So that's why on the top I have mentioned that is Python benevolent dictator for life. So what I'm doing in this style, this I'm giving a presentations where I'm not discussing line by line of the PowerPoint presentation. That's because when you go to this PowerPoint presentation, you will learn. I'm giving you this input, and you will try to assimilate, and you need to explore it as much as possible. Now, some features of Python. That is, first of all, the Python is a high-level programming language. It is open source and community driven. It is not a pure object-oriented programming language. It is dynamic type. Source can be compiled or run just in time. It is easy to learn. So this is very, very important. It is easy to learn. Just now I showed just one line of code, print hello world. So it is enough. So you already entered to the Python domain. Your first lesson is over. Now it is written in C. Now every time block of free memory is released for different data types, it is basically a linked list. Hence pointer is the heart of the language, but user will never ask to use any pointer. Now what is happening? It is written in C, C++ written in C, Java is written in C. So when you are using the C, so one concept will come always. It is known as the pointer. What is the pointer? So pointer is nothing but a variable, and it keeps the address of another variable. Now what is the variable? So it will vary. So let us consider a is equal to 3. So 3 is a numeric value. You are giving it to a variable named a. So after a certain time, you can give this a is equal to 4 or a is equal to 5. So what exactly is happening? So this is, in Python, the advantage is if you write is a is equal to 3, this people will, the compiler will understand, okay, the variable name is a and you are assigning a value 3. The 3 value is what type of data, so they will understand. The computer will understand, the interpreter will understand. But the thing is, what is happening behind the curtain, we need to open here. So that's why I'm taking this class. So when you are using the C, so C is using a pointer. So pointer is nothing but a variable. So let us consider this variable A. So this variable A, so this is the name, and the variable A needs an address. So the moment you will give an instruction to this computer, so computer will search with this variable name, and it will find, okay, this is the location of this variable. This location is known as the memory address. And from this memory address, it will take the value of this variable and it will use or, further process. Now this thing is, for instance, you can take an example, say a postmaster. Now, what is the duty of the postmaster? To deliver your post or the mails, and on the envelope, what you have to do, you have to mention this address. So this is the mailing address. So this mailing address means you have to mention this your house number, flat or flat number, or the street number, this landmark, the pin code, etc. And you will get your letter if your address is correct. So similar concept we are using in this computer. So when we are using any variable, so we need to specify the address or this location of this variable, and this locations the computer will find out this value and it will use for the further processing. Now the next step is the it is written in C, but it is not faster than C. It is much, much slower than C. So this is one of the drawbacks. But still, the Python is rocking the market, or they're ruling the market. That's because it is very simple and easy to understand. And the Python uses interpreter, not compiler. So first of all, we need to understand this one also. What is the difference between interpreter and the compiler? Okay. So this slide, what I will say to you, this initially, the sum of the lines I will explain, and the rest of the lines again I will take you through this some features of this Python, and I will explain each of everything, because this is the it is a little bit difficult, because high level programming language I can explain. High level programming language, for instance, you are writing anything in a simple English, say a print, then hello world. But as I told you earlier, that is computer cannot understand this English. So what you need to do, you need to convert this high level language to the low level language, or this machine level language. So the Python is basically a high level language, because you are writing in a simple, English or a simple text, so that the user could understand easily. But the thing is, what is happening behind the curtain? So this high level language will be, converted to a low level language, or the machine language, so that computer could understand. Now, it is open source and community driven. This open source means is everything in this Python is open. So it is not this you are hiding any code or you are hiding anything. So any person can open the all the code, and it can check it. And today's class I will show you. And community driven is this Python community is here we have online. So if you are facing any problems, you can raise this question, and definitely within short period of time we will get this support. Now, it is not a pure object-oriented programming. What is this object-oriented programming language? Well, let us consider this object-oriented programming language. It is the fundamental concept is class. Now, what is class? Well, if you want to purchase, any flat or any premises, what you have to do, you have to go to the, to our promoters, and the promoters, you will get a blueprint. And blueprint is nothing but this ammoniacal drawing. In the ammoniacal drawing, you will find that this is your bedroom, this is your living room, this is your kitchen, this is the bathroom, etc. But you will never get the feel. You can understand it, but the thing is you can physically touch it. So the moment you are getting in the key from the promoter, and the promoter is requesting, okay, you just visit your flat, and I'm handing over this key. Now your flat is yours. So the moment you will open the door with the key, and you will enter the flat, you will touch the wall, and you will see, and you will get the physical touch. Okay, this is my bedroom. This is my dining hall. This is my kitchen. This is my balcony, etc., etc. So there are two concepts. Concept number one, the when you are getting this ammoniacal drawing, if you will check this ammoniacal drawing has been approved by a planner, so it is an authenticated drawing, so you will get this assurance, yes, that this will be the shape of my flat. This is the dimension of this flat. Now, once you are getting this key from this promoter, and you are opening the door and you are entering the flat, it is known as the physical possession. Position. So when you are getting the physical positions mixed, you can understand, or you can feel, this is the wall, this is the living room, this is the dining hall, this is the kitchen, this is the balcony, this is etc. So this is the true set you are finding. You will find it. Now this thing is, when you are using this object-oriented programming concept, this thing is the first you are preparing a template. This template is nothing but the ammoniacal drawing you can compare. It is known as the class. But when you are creating this object for this class, when you are basically, you can consider that is you are entering this room, and you are taking the physical positions, and your physical positions means you can feel it physically. Yes, this is the living room, this is the bedroom, this is the kitchen, etc. So this is the two differences between the class and this object. Object is physically, you can feel it. But this thing is, for what reason we are creating this class? The thing is, when you are creating this class, that is the advantage is the reusability. Anytime you can modify the class, you can add different functionality to this class. And the moment you are uh, changing the class, you are adding more and more functionality. It means when you are creating this object will by default will get all the functionality of the class. You get my point? So you are creating the class, you are writing everything within this code, everything within a class, and when you are creating this object of the class, with the help of this object you can access all the functionalities of the class. Now, it may not be clear to you. So when we enter to this coding part, I will show you how to create the class and how to do the rest of the class. Now the next thing is it is dynamic type. I will explain this one. Source can be compiled or run just in time. What is just in time? This part I will explain, and now I will explain this interpreter and the compiler. So interpreter and the compiler, I need to take you to this next slide, and I will show you in detail. Now, what is the Python interpreter? Interpreter, line interpreter. Let us consider line by line you will read. So I am giving you, corpus or the text or the document. So what I'm asking you, you go line by line, read line by line. So moment I am saying this interpreter, so interpreter will read line by line. Okay, and when I'm talking of this compiler means it's one go. And sometimes you will find these people, those who are preparing this cat exam for the degree, what they are doing now, if you give a long passage within short period of time, they will go through it, and they will say, okay, it's over in one go. It's not that they are reading this line by line. So interpreter is slower than the compiler. Do you get my point? If you take this example, it will be easier for you. So when you are installing this Python, so Python will come with this tool That is, one is this interpreter, another one is the libraries. So when you are installing this Anaconda, Anaconda will install the Python. So within this Python, you will get this interpreter and the libraries. So let us try to understand this interpreter. So what I'm doing, you are writing a code. So when you are writing this code, you need to save it in dot with the .py extension. So just now I showed that is plain hello world .py extension. Now this file, what you will do, so once you saved it, so you will pass this file to a compiler. So this is the interpreter. What are the components of this interpreter? You will see this is compiler. The compiler will convert it to the byte code. So this is extension in .py. So .py, as I told you, it is a high-level programming language. It is written in, in a simple English. Now you are converting this high-level programming language to the corresponding, you know, what I should say. It is a pure low-level programming language. It is not a pure machine, so that machine could understand. So what we are doing here, we are combining the low-level programming language and little bit of text. So a bytecode is basically in between the high level programming language and the low level programming language. Okay, so it is, you can say it is a semi digestive part. Now why the now Python interpreter is following such kind of peculiarity? As I told you, the Python interpreter means it is a line interpreter, so it will take a lot of time. So what I am doing, so I am, you know converting the code in between the low level machine language and high level machine language. So it will be, so the moment you are giving it to this compilation, so it will be easier to interpret or to predict or to compute this result within short period of time. So it will reduce, sorry, it will reduce little bit of time. So from this byte code I am getting the virtual machine, and this virtual machine, then finally it is giving you this output. So guys, in this interpreter, you are getting this compiler, bytecode, and the virtual machine. And .py file, when you are giving into this interpreter, it will go through this several steps, and finally you are getting this output. And what is happening? So just now I showed this run, print, hello world. The moment if you click the run button, you are getting this output, but you don't know what exactly is happening behind the button. Now I already showed that is in the command prompt. If you write there is conda list, because when you are installing this Anaconda, so you will get the Anaconda prompt for checking. You go to this Anaconda prompt and just write conda list, press enter. You will get all the list of libraries or packages you are getting automatically during this installations of this Anaconda. Now I have a lot of packages. These are the free by default. I got it. Now the question arises, often you will find that is you need to install a new package. So if you need to install a new package, a new library, what you need to do, you have to write the pip, then install install, then you have to give the name of the package, then press enter. And what you need to do, you have to be very careful. You have to check whether your internet is on or not. So if your internet is on, so automatically it will download, what I should say, the package from the particular repository. No need to think about from where, no need to give you the link also. Say this is the link of the particular package. You just write pip install, then the name of the package and press enter. So here you can check it will install this way. I've shown, I'm just downloading a package. Package name is D3V visualization. D3 means decision tree visualizations, and this install. Now, what is the difference between .py and .pyc? Well, I told you .pyc is nothing but a byte code, and .py is basically a high-level programming language where you are writing everything in simple English. That is plain hello world. And .pyc, it is a byte level code. In the byte level code, what you will get, that is the code is in between the high level programming language and pure low level machine language. So in this case, you will find this one. See, this type of code you will get. And at the same time, you will get, simple English. It is showing that is the location of a file, that is C colon users desktop, the add lib, the folder, within this folder, another folder is there lib, and within this folder you are having this name of the file is display.py, and here you are getting this greet names, greet users name. This is nothing but a uh, I will show you this is a function name, the function name you're getting. At the same time, here you will get within this .pyc file, that is the date of creations, then when you are creating this one information. Now, what is basically that is you have created a display.py file. I will give you the demonstrations. And Dave, it is a great username, and you are passing the name at a string, and it is what it will means print hello, then correspond the string value. No need to go through this in detail. I will show you. I will give you the demonstration. Now, this part here, I will stop and I will take you to this lab again, and I will show you. Let me take you here. I don't know anything. I want to learn. So 1 plus 2, let me show you. What is the value? Value is 3. So if you use any calculator, you can check. That is okay. 1 is a numeric value and 2 is also a numeric value. If I add, then I will get, the value is equal to 3. So 1, next, if I use divided by 2, sorry, this is divided by 2, the value is 0.5. Now here you have to be very careful. Now here I'm getting 3, and here I'm getting 0.5, means after decimal. So when you are learning, anything, so if you recall, that is in your during your schooling, you have studied this integer and float. Now 3 is nothing but an integer, and this value is nothing but a float, that is 0.5. So 1, 2, what is the meaning of this thing? This is nothing but a data. This is nothing but a data. I told you in the previous slide, if you check these introductions to data science, machine learning, deep learning, etc. So you will find a brief introduction. If you forget, no need, again, I will discuss. So this, what is happening here, that is when we are considering this data, so data is nothing but the information. Data means it's broadly classified as this integer and the float. Initially take this classification. It is broadly classified as an integer. Integer value is 3, float value is equal to 0.5. Now, let me take you this next step. So let us consider a 4 minus 2, 4 minus 2. So 2. You are subtracting these two integer values. So let us consider this one, 2 minus 4. What will be the output? The answer is minus 2. So the your Python is just working just like a calculator, when it can show you the positive signs as well as the negative signs. Now let me show whether the multiplication is possible or not. 2 multiplied by, you know 4. So 2 multiplied by 4 is 8. So what exactly is happening? So let me clear the screen. Let me clear this screen. So what I'm doing, so 2 multiplied by 4, so you will get this output 8. So what are the, if you recall, that is 2 plus 3, let us take the an expression 2 plus 4 minus 5. So what is the answer? Answer is 1. Now this is the multiplication symbol. This is the plus sign. This is the minus sign. And this is nothing but technically it is called this operator. So as I told you, because if you know, if you recall this in the, during your schooling, you learn all this operator, that is the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, etc. Now that is, if you do this 10 divided by 5, so you will get this 2.0. 2.0 is nothing but a float number. Now what I need to do, let us consider this 11. 11, I'm putting the percentage sign, then 5, I'm getting 1. So what is the meaning of this one? 11 is an integer. Dividing by 5, I'm putting in percentage sign means you so that you could get this remainder. So once you get this remainder 1, so 1 is means if you divide 11 by 5, you will get a remainder 1. Then the next step. So we are getting a lot of operators like addition, division, multiplication, subtraction, remainder. Let us consider another one. Say 9 double slash I'm giving. Then 4. Answer is 2. So if you look at this method very carefully, that is 9 divided by 4, you will get this answer is 2.5. Now if you round the 2.5, you will get 2. You are rounding it because 2.5 is a float value. So if you rounding it, you will get an integer value. The integer value is equal to 2. Okay. So now what I will do, let us clear the screen. I will take you to the presentation. Okay. Now this one already I discussed all the stuff I discussed. Now here I will come. Now if you check these slides already I discussed everything I have discussed. Now this part I didn't discuss this one. 2 times I'm using the multiplication signs, then 3. It means 2 to the power 3. Power symbol is 2 to the power 3. So you will get the value is equal to 8. Okay, guys. So these type of symbol, that is plus sign, minus sign, multiplication sign, division sign. This is also division, and this is nothing. The I'm doing the two steps are involved in this. First divide it, then round it. Round it means you will get a float value. 9 divided by 4, you will get 2.4. Now convert this 2.4, a float variable. I told you, a float data to an integer value. So decimal part, if you remove from the 2.5, you will get 2. Now 2 to the power 3, the 2 to the power 3 or 2, twice you are using the multiplication sign 3, you will get this 2 to the power 3 is 8. 11 percentage sign 3, so if you divide 11 by 3, you will get remainder 2. Now here I will come the logical operators. So the previous one I discussed the operators that you are using, some kind of to doing some kind of algebraic task. Now here I am using the logical task. Now, what is the meaning of the logical task? So, if you check here, A is equal to 1, B is equal to 1, means you are assigning a value, this data, now you can understand it is an integer value. You are assigning an integer value to A. 2 is an integer value, you are assigning it to B. What is A and B? I told you this is a variable. Name of the variable is A and B. Now, if you add A plus B, so what is happening? You are saying, you already mentions to your computer that is A is equal to 1. So computer will go to the address where the location of A, then it will take its value, put it here. Then it will check B, it will search where the things, I mean the location of the B. So in this location of the B, it will find the address, and from there it will find the value of B and put it here. So 1 plus 2 it will put, that is 3. Now the question here, what is the logical operator? So A double equal to, there's 2 times I'm using this equal to 1. It means what? So and when you are using this 2 equal to, so it means a logical operator, it has the left hand side and the right hand side. In the right hand side, it is putting the value 1, and in the left hand side, it is putting a variable named A. So is A is equal to 1? So the answer is true. Because earlier you have defined that is A is equal to 1. So this is a conditions. So in the logical operators means it has the left hand side and the right hand side. When you are using the two equal to sign, means the computer will check whether they means its logical operators means whether this expression is true or not, whether A is equal to 1 or not. So A is equal to 1, so it will say true. Now the next is logical operator A, sign of exclamation, then equal to. This means not equal to. A equal to 1 true, A not equal to 1, so you are getting false. Now if you check the answer true and false, all of you can understand it is true or false. But this true and false is nothing but a data. It is giving you an information. This type of data is known as the Boolean data. Boolean, B-O-O-L-E-A-N, Boolean data. So now we are getting a concept of this data type. Now we got the concept that is integer, float, and Boolean data type. Now I am using another logical operator, that is a greater than equal to 1. A is equal to 1. Now if I say greater than equal to, this is also true because a is equal to 1, so it will say true. But if I say a greater than 1, no, this is false. Now a less than equal to 1. A equal to 1, it is true, so it will give the true. But a less than 1, it will give the false. Now the here I'm saying that is a plus b is equal to 3. Now what is the problem with the syntax? Now you will see this type of syntax error you are getting, that is can't assign to operator. When you are learning a programming language, the first thing I would say, commit mistake as much as possible, because once you commit the mistake, your interpreter or compiler will give you or show you this error. So you will be accustomed with this error. Now, what is the meaning of this one? Syntax error. Syntax means grammatical error. Now, a plus b. Now, I show you here a plus b equal to 3. Now, when you are saying a plus b equal to 3, it is wrong because here these two expressions, it has the left hand side and the right hand side. Now, you need to compare whether this expression is correct or not. So, here you have to give the two equal to sign, a plus b double equal to 3. So, a plus b double equal to 3. So, this left hand side you will get one expression and the right hand side you will get one expression. So, it will compare whether this expression is correct or not. So these from the slide you will get the concept of the logical operators and another concept, the Boolean variable. So let me take you to the code section. So what I will do, a is equal to 1, this b is equal to 1. So let's say a plus b is equal to 2. Now what I'm doing, a plus b double equal to 3. It is saying false because a plus b equal to 2. 2 cannot be equal to 3. So I am using a logical operator, and these logical operator, and I'm getting this output. This output is false. It is a basically a Boolean variable. Now earlier what I'm doing, this is assignment operator. I'm assigning a value 1 to a. I'm assigning one value 1 to b. Then I'm using an arithmetic operator a plus b. I'm getting this 2, and then a plus b is double equal to 3. So it is a logical operator. Now I will show you the syntax error. So let us consider this is equal to, okay, let us equal to 2. So it is showing, see, the can't assign to operator because a plus b, that is a is a variable, b is a variable, you are using a plus value. That is a plus b, a plus b. What is happening here? Now a plus b is you already add these two values and you are getting the value is equal to 2. 2 is equal to 2 when you are saying means what you have to do as per the syntax, a plus b double equal to 2. Now if you press enter, now the expression is correct. So this is nothing but the logical operator. Okay, guys. Now let me take you to the, the slide, the presentations part, and I will take you one by one the slides, and I will enter the data type. I discussed about the data already. I have given you this information for data. Data means you are sharing information. You are giving information to your computer. Now data already I classified as the integer and float. Now here in this case, I will introduce you some concept like the string, list, etc. So a is equal to 1. I am assigning a numeric value 1. This is integer in nature to a. So it means the variable a will give the data type of as per the right hand side variable, the right hand side data, that is 1. So if the right hand side data is an integer in nature, so definitely the data type of a will be integer. So I'm using a command that is type within first bracket. I'm giving the name of the variable. If you press enter, you will get int means integer. Now, if you say that is a is equal to 1.5, then if you type a, and if you press enter, you will get the data type is nothing but a float. Because 1.5, that is 1 is the integer part, and then I'm getting a decimal part, so you will get a float value. Now, here I'm writing that is A is equal to Krishnendu Mukherjee, that is my enter name, and within the inverted comma, Krishnendu Mukherjee is nothing but a text. You can consider, because it is text, you can read it, and I'm passing it to A, so it is neither numeric, it is a neither integer nor float. So it is basically it's a text. Now, how you will say, as per the technicality means of the Python, it is known as the string. Now I'm passing a string to A. Now if I say the type A, you are getting the data type. Type A means what type of data it is. Because this side is a string, so if you are assigning it to a variable and if you type A, so you will get this data type string. Now this thing is, it will be too advanced, within short period of time you will learn a lot of things, and I will segregate all these things later on. So that, because my purpose is to give you the condensed concept, so you can use it within short period of time. So I'm using, in the Python you will get a beautiful applications of the different brackets. First bracket, so I'm using here first bracket, opening bracket and the closing bracket. I'm using is a third bracket, and the same time I will show you the curly braces of the second bracket. So each bracket has the different meaning. So when you are saying A is equal to opening third bracket, closing third bracket, and you are assigning it to A, so you can consider what type of data it is. So if you type A, so type A is nothing but list. So it is a list. So what is this list? So if A is equal to within the opening bracket and the closing bracket, if you write this, some integer value, that is 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, and if you type that is length of A, that is length of A, it will show how many elements are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 elements. So length of the list, because it is a list, is A, because you're assigning a list to A, so length of this list is equal to 4. Now the thing is, if you say that is A 0, then it will give the first element of this list, that is 1. If you give A1, it will give the second element of this list. So what exactly is happening here? So it is basically, in a list, when you are keeping all these elements, so by default what the Python will do, behind the curtain it will assign index to each element, and it will start the index from the 0. So please keep in mind, in Python the index will start from the 0 by default. So if you are starting this index from 0, A0, A within a third bracket, A within third bracket, if you say the 0, you will get 1. Means A0 means what? At index 0, at index 0, you want to get this element, so element is 1. At index 1, the element is 2. At index 2, the element is 3. At index 3, the element is 4. So you are starting from 0. So here 4 elements, so the last index will be n minus 1. So 4 minus 1 is 3. Okay. So let me take you to the lab session. Let me show you here. Let us clear screen. Okay. So what I will do is equal to 1. So I need to check the what type of data variable A is. So type. Okay. See here you can check that is type. It is giving this type self comma asterisk sign arguments double asterisk false etc. Okay, so it is giving the syntax. This is a pop-up menu. You can say this in case of the id, you have the intelligence. So when you are typing anything, when you are means any command you are typing, so automatically it will show you how many arguments you will pass, how many input parameters you will pass. Okay, so type A. Int means the data type of the variable A is integer. So let's consider A is equal to 2.5. So what is the type of A? Type of A is float. Now this thing is A is an integer, A is a float. So earlier the data type is the integer, now the data type is float. So what exactly is happening? Because A is a variable. So each time if you check the right hand side, so as per this right hand side, the data type of the A will change. Now let us consider A is equal to, okay. So now if I say this is this, type A is equal to nothing but a string. So now if you think about the data types, means what type of data in case of the Python you will give, so you can get a overall idea like this: integer, float, these are the numeric data type, and non-numeric data type is string. So data type in Python is broadly classified as a numeric and the non-numeric. Numeric is further classified as, you know, the integer, then float, and the same time non-numeric data type you are getting a string. Now string is, Python is written in C. In the C, it is clearly mentioned when you are talking about the string. String is nothing but this array of characters. Okay, so let me try to access age. Okay, so as I told you, when you are means in any programming language, the concept of the memory or the memory location is very very important, because in this memory, computer will keeps all the information, and you need to access the memory to get the value. So similarly, if you say that is A is equal to 1, so you will get E. So what is happening? So it is starting by default this index 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then here the 5. So let me show you what is the 5. See, 5 is a blank space. It is showing 5 is nothing but a blank space. So hello world, I can write it as, okay. So hello world, I can write it as 0 plus A1 plus A2, A3, that is 4. Let me show you. Say hello. What I'm doing, that is I am assigning the hello world, this enter this text to a variable A, and after that what I'm doing, I'm taking its index value A0, means what is at A0, that is age, that is the letter A, its index 1, that is as letter E, A2 letter L, A3 letter L, A4 letter O. So if you add all of them, so you are getting hello. But earlier you got that is 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. So what is the meaning here? If I'm using the plus sign, I'm using the plus sign. Here it is adding, and the value is giving this numeric. But when I'm using tx value and I'm putting in plus sign, it is giving this hello. What is the meaning of this one? Now a plus sign is an operator. This arithmetic operator can work in a two different ways. Let me clear everything and start again. Maybe I'm wrong. So if I'm wrong, you can tell me. That is 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. That is plus operator. What is doing? That is it is adding this two value 1 and 2 and giving this output 3. 3 is an integer value. At the same time, I'm saying that is age plus e, and it's saying he. It is not giving this any numeric value. This as because the the plus operator here is working as the concatenation. In the plus operator, this arithmetic operator is adding the two integer, but in case of the plus operator, when you are using any letter, any string, and giving the plus sign, so it will concatenate. It is adding this age, and this in this next phase, it is placing this e. So he is creating a word. For instance, you can write this way. Say a is equal to hello, okay, and then you can write 0 because you are taking this sorry it is you are taking this index, okay, so this is a1, then a2, a3, a4, okay, so you will get this value. Alternatively, you can write this way, okay, so you can write this way, this is hello. So what I want to say this thing is, the although this concept has been discarded in case of this Python, because in the C we said the a string is nothing but the array of characters. A string is nothing but the array of characters. For instance, in this case, if you take the string, this is a string, this is a non-numeric value. I'm considering H as a character, E is a character, L is a character, L is a character, O is a character, and corresponding base addresses. I'm starting from the base address A0, A1, A2, A3, A4. I'm getting this hello. But the thing is, now this concept has been discarded in case of Python. The Python saying it is no, this we are not using this concept of this character. But at the same time, behind this curtain, what exactly is happening? It will open, but we are getting the same flavor here. When you are using this code, you are getting the same flavor. For instance, A0 is given a character age, A1 is giving a character small e, A2 is giving a small character small l, A2 is giving a character small l, A3 is giving a character small l, and A4 is giving a character small o. So if you concatenate, plus sign means concatenation here because you are using the string. You are getting this hello. You got my point? Okay, so the arithmetic operator has the two purposes. It can work for the integer value or the float value, and at the same time, it can work differently for the string or the characters. Now, I will use a list. Let us clear my blackboard. So this is, I'm using it as a blackboard. So I am using, opening bracket and the closing bracket, and this is equal to A is equal to an opening bracket and closing bracket. So I'm assigning something to A, but what I am assigning some type of A. Means what is the data type of the variable A? It is a list. And what is the length of this list? Okay, 0. Now, if I want to add one element to this list, what you need to do, that is A dot append 1. And now, if I want to find out A, say I already added or appending, adding a value to the list. So the value is showing. And within opening bracket and closing bracket means, so it is a list. Now I need to find out its index. E0 is 1. Okay. So if I consider a list, I'm giving the value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And after that, I'm saying that is type of A, and I'm saying that what is the length of the list. Sorry, so this one, so this value is 5. 5 elements are here, and what is the first element? This is 1. Okay, guys. So the next thing what I need to do, I will say type is equal to 1, and the next element is, first element is integer, and the next element is float. Let's see whether it can take it now. The first element is 1, and the second element is the float. You got my point? So list is taking or not. You need to check it. So it is taking. Now I need to check what is the data type of the first element. It is integer. And what is the data type of the second element is the float. Now we are getting a concept in case of the list. List is nothing but a container. In the container, you can keep the different data type. What I want to say, the different data type. I am keeping the integer as well as this float. Now the question is, because Python is written in C, so in C, it is clearly mentioned the list means is a list is basically a container where you're keeping the different variables values. Okay, it is accepted, but the next thing is the concept is given in C, that is the value should be in the contiguous memory, in the side by side memory location. But this is not applicable in case of the Python. I will show you during my demonstrations on the memory address locations. Okay, let me clear this one, clear screen. So let me show you whether I can take it or not. I'm using hello. So let's see, this is 2.5. So it is a list. Let me show you whether it is a list or not. And it is taking the value. Now what is the data type of the second index? Which one is the second index, guys? I told you that is starting from 0, then 1, this is 2. The second index is means this is string. So I will see whether it is a string or not. So it's string. The second index is a string. But what about this? The type of, if you check, it is a float. Now my question is, now it is taking integer value, it is taking float value, and it is taking a string value. But how it is keeping in this memory? Because all of them are dissimilar data type. So least we can container in as per in my demonstration I'm using Python 3.6 is a container where you can keep the dissimilar data type. Means you can keep this integer, you can keep float, and you can keep the string also. Okay, so let me take you through the presentation. Now this thing is I will enter the next data types. Already I discussed about this part, the release, the length of the list, what is this indexing in this list, etc. The next data type is basically the tuple. A within first bracket 1, 2, 3, 4. I told you be careful about the first bracket, second bracket, third bracket. Third bracket is for the list. First bracket means I'm showing you when you are saying that is A is equal to, that is A is equal to within first bracket 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This means you are assigning a value to A. A is a variable, is entire value. Just like the list, this entire value you are assigning 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you type A, so it is a tuple. Now if you say A is the opening curly braces and closing curly braces, then if I say what is the type of A, type of A is nothing but a dictionary. Now you got the concept of the list, you got the concept of the tuple, now the dictionary. Now what is the dictionary? What is the tuple and what is the list and what is the difference between these two? So let me take you to the you know the computer coding directly, and prior to that I will show you that is in this tuple I'm just mentioning, just like this is 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. The only difference is you can check visibly, that is in this list you are using the third bracket, in the tuple you are using the first bracket. But is there any difference? Yes, there is a lot of differences. So when you are using this list in this list, you can use these similar data types. In the tuple, I will show you whether these similar data types can be allowed or not. This is number one. Number two, the tuple always remember it's much faster than the list. So when you are using list and tuple, so always prefer to use tuple instead of the list. Okay. So this is a new data type you are getting in case of the Python. This is not available, I think, in my opinion, in C. Now, when you are using the dictionary, so dictionary is basically that is A is equal to second curly braces, opening curly braces and the closing curly braces. Now, this line, it means you are assigning a null dictionary or empty dictionary to a variable A. Now, how to mention the values in case of a dictionary? So a dictionary has the two parts, one has the key, another one is the value. The key is for the indexing. Now this Harry within code, the first term is the key. I'm giving the colon and the next value is the value. Similarly here you are getting this a key that is a Ravi and this you are getting a value and you are giving the colon. Now why you are giving this key? Now key you are giving is because so that you can easily index during the searching. So you need to find out, the value of 12. In case of the least, what you are doing, A, then within third bracket, you are specifying the index of this value. It could be 0 or 1, etc. Now, when you are going to access the dictionary, what you need to do, now A, within third bracket, you need to mention the name of the key that is held. Now, what is the difference between the dictionary and the list? Now, dictionary and the list is very, very popular to the software developers. So when you are using, a very big number of data, always you need to prefer the list, tuple, or the dictionary. Dictionary is the most favorable one for several software developers, as because dictionary can index and you can search a particular value within short period of time. So if you type A, so obviously it will show this, it is a dictionary data type, and at the same time, just now I said that is A. Within this third bracket, you are mentioning the key value Hari, and you are getting this value, numeric value. You are saying there is A within third bracket, the key value Ravi, you are getting the numeric value. And at the same time, if you say the length A is a dictionary. How many elements are here? Don't get confused. That is the Hari, Ravi, 12, 14, etc. Because this one thing is clear, that is you are giving a comma. So this is the first element and this is the second element. In the first element, you have the key and the corresponding value, and you are putting this colon sign. And in this case, the first element is the key, second element is the value, you are putting a colon sign. And this one, what you are saying, that is length A. What is the length of the dictionary? So two elements are here, so two. Now, if you say that is A within a third bracket, this Krishna is a key. This Krishna key is not available in this dictionary, so it will throw an error. It is a key error. So let us try to do a little bit of coding, and I will take you here. So what I will do first, that is A is equal to, that is first bracket, 1 comma 2 comma 3. Okay, now I will type what is this data type is. Data type is tuple. Now, what is the difference between tuple and list? So always keep in mind that is tuple is much, much faster than list. Now the question is, can I access the first element of a tuple with this? Yes, it can. I can access the second element. Yes, I can. I can access the third element because the index will be n minus 1. Yes, I can do. So this is all about the tuple. Now the next thing is I need to check whether the tuple can contain the dissimilar data type, like say heavy. Let's see. Yes, it can. Okay. Now here I can check the type of this one. This is string. If I say this is type of base address, so what I want to say, that is here certain similarities you will find, that is just like the list, tuple can contain the dissimilar data type. A can contain this, list can contain dissimilar data types, tuple also can contain dissimilar data types, but the tuple is much, much faster than the list. Now what I will do, I will take you to this another data type. This is the dictionary. Now, as told you earlier, this when you are learning this Python, you have to be very careful about this, the brackets, the first bracket, the second bracket, this third bracket, this curly braces is the second bracket. So, what is the type of A? Type of A is basically is nothing but a dictionary. And what is the length of the dictionary? The length of the dictionary is, it is a null dictionary. It is an empty dictionary. So let us clear it again. So I need to create a dictionary. In the dictionary, I will put the index, that is 12, and this one is say able, and I will put a value say 1.5, and let's see whether it can take it or not. Yes, it is taking. Now I want to access the 12. How can I? So this is, so this thing is, in the dictionary, you are getting the two components. One is the key, another one is the key value. Key value is 12 and the key is 8. With the help of this key, you can access the corresponding value, and it is much, much faster. It is searching in this is, it is very faster than corresponding the least and corresponding this list. Now, what is the similarity between the least, tuple, and this dictionary? Now we can consider it is as a container where keeping the dissimilar data. Now when you are keeping everything dissimilar data in a container means you have to remember it is as nothing but a collection. So within these collections you will find this least dictionary on top. Okay. Now what is this collection? Now I told you in the beginning, that is the brief introductions to Python, since Python is nothing but an object-oriented programming language. It is an object-oriented programming language. So, but it is not a pure object-oriented programming language. So everything you will find in this Python in terms of class. I have given you a brief introduction to the class. Class is nothing but a template, I told you. So in Python, everything is written in terms of class. Okay. So when you are considering about the class, so collection is a class, and this collection class, you will get all these type of data type, which is list, then you will get, tuple, then you will get this dictionary. Okay, guys. So I need to show you, that is, I want by mistake if I use key, key is a key. So it will throw an error. That is a key error. What is the name? Earlier I showed you the syntax error. Now it is showing a key error. Key error means in a given dictionary, this key value is not available. It is absent. So that's why the interpreter is confused and is giving you what type of key error is your key value you are giving. There is no corresponding value. Okay. So with this, I will enter the beautiful part of this Python, that is nothing but this memory. So data type I discuss. So it's all about this, Python, and the I can show you here. There is introductions to Python, and in this Python data types I discuss in brief, and this is the certain links. If you're willing to go through, you can go through it and you can learn as much as possible. Now the first link is very, very important, is www.python.org. The python.org, you visit this website and you'll get a lot of information, and I will show you. Now let us come to this another slide. Okay, so this is introduction to Python, part 2. The moment you will start your spider, so the spider, you will get this type of image. It will appear on your desktop. So it means this Python is loading. You can see this loading external console. So that's why I have given this picture. Now let us check the data type, the Python data type. Now you will get an idea. Now Python data type, if you check, that is, it is broadly classified as a numeric. Numeric is broadly classified as, integer and float I discussed. Now this is complex number. Another part is the complex number. Now complex number is basically, maybe you have studied if you are in the CBSE board or CSE board, that is, you have studied, that is, it has, integer part as an imaginary part. So how you will represent, like there is a plus ib. A is a, scalar value, B is a scalar value, and I'm giving I is an integer, a imaginary part. So this is known as the complex number. The complex numbers I'm not discussing here. This is also a data type. So if you are using it for the scientific purposes, then you can use this Python and you can explore more. Now the next is the dictionary. This is another data type I discussed in detail. Now the Boolean. Boolean I showed, that is the values you check, that is true or false when you're using this logical operator. Now I will discuss about the say. And the next one is the collection of the sequence type. In the sequence type, you will find the string, list, and tuple. String, list, and tuple. String I discussed is array of character, but this concept is not applicable in case of this Python because this concept is very popular in the C, but the concept of character has been discarded in case of Python. The list I told you, this you can consider it as a container. You are taking dissimilar data to you. Dissimilar data set, and the tuple. This is also a container. It contains dissimilar data set, and it is much faster than the list. And another one is the user defined data. And in the user defined data, we are keeping everything in terms of class. Now, say it is an example. I will discuss. Now, let us consider directly come to this. Before I go here, take you I will take you to this, direct presentations part with the help of coding. I'm considering a is equal to minus of 5. I need to find out this address of a. The a is a variable. You are assigning a negative value minus 5 to a, and you are finding out the address of a. So this is the address. A big number you are getting 15976683984. And if you want to get the hexadecimal code of the corresponding ID, this is the hexadecimal value. This is the memory address. Now we are in the memory. Now, any programming language, when you are studying this, you always keep in mind the memory management, how it is dealing with this memory, how Python is dealing with this memory management. And this is very important here. So you are assigning a value is equal to minus 5. And then you are saying ID. What is the ID? You are giving a particular identifications number to A. And then you are converting this identifications number to a hexadecimal value. It is nothing but a memory address. What the computer will do, computer will check this memory address and automatically say, okay, this is the location of the variable A, and the corresponding value of this variable A is equal to minus 5. Now I am saying this A is equal to now 12. What will be the ID of this A? So this is 15976 this one. Now question arises, is there any relation between this ID and this ID? Okay, let us do some kind of simple mathematical operations here. Then put a minus sign and take this one. So what I'm doing, if A is equal to minus 5, I'm taking the memory address, okay? And then what I'm doing, I'm saying there is A is equal to 12, I'm taking its ID. A is equal to minus 5, I'm taking this ID. A is equal to 12, I'm taking this ID, and I'm subtracting. So I am getting a value that is 544. Now, is it meaningful to me? So let me try to open it. So let us come here. That is A is equal to minus 5, ID of A. Just now I showed you are getting this one. A is equal to minus 4, ID of this one. So if you subtract these two, you will get the value is equal to 32. So in a simple way, I can say that address of A is equal to minus 5 plus 32 is equal to address of A equal to minus 4. This one. A simple mathematics I am doing. So what I am doing, that is address A equal to minus 5 is equal to address A equal to minus 4 plus 32. Sorry, say address A equal to minus 4 is equal to address A equal to minus 5 plus 32. A simple mathematics I am doing. Let us take another example. A equal to minus 4 is ID, A equal to 16, corresponding ID. Now if you subtract, you are getting these values. Now I need to create a formula so that I can find out the memory location within short period of time. Now the question arises, can I play it? Okay, I can do it. So let us clear the screen. I'm saying that is a is equal to minus 5. Sorry, a is equal to minus 5. I'm finding out this address of a, this one. Then I'm saying that is a is equal to 12. And I need to find out ID of a, sorry, ID of a, this one, this address. Now what I'm doing, I'm subtracting this 2. I want to get the value. This is this, and the corresponding value is this. So if you subtract, the value is 544. Now, how you are getting this 544? The simple logic is that is 12, that is 12 minus, what is the value, initial value given to A is minus 5, close the bracket. So 12 is the final value assigned to A, minus 5 the initial value assigned to A. So what is the difference? 12 minus minus of 5. Now multiplied by 32. So you are getting 544. So we can write a formula. If A is equal to minus 5, this address, okay? So if this is the address, now how much value you are changing? You are changing from 12. Your initial value is minus 5, from minus 5 to 12. So this is the value you are changing or you are shifting, and then it should be multiplied by 32. Then you are getting the same value, 159768458. So I can use a logical operator to verify if that is ID of A is double equal to this value. So you can check whether this big value is right or wrong. So it is true. So you are basically, now you are learning the mathematics, and with this mathematics I am developing a formula, and this formula will give you the idea how to find out the memory address of any variable. Now the question arises, what type of variable it is? Now if you search the Python documentation thoroughly, now any value of a is between minus 5 to 255. I think if I'm not wrong, this value is known as the short integer. So in C you will get the concept of the short integer and the long integer. Even in this Python behind the curtain you will get the same concept. So let us come to this slide again. So what I'm doing, I am just, that is a is equal to minus 5, that is corresponding memory ID. And if you put an integer value 32, you will get the corresponding, the next value a is equal to minus 4. Because the difference between the minus 5 and minus 4 is just equal to 1. So 1 multiplied by 32 is nothing but the 32. Now let us take this example. Initial value is equal to minus 5. You are getting corresponding memory address, and the final value you are considering is 16. So what is the difference between 16 and minus 5? So 16 minus or minus 5. So you will get this 21, and 21 multiplied by 32. If you add this value with the ID of a is equal to minus 5, you will get the corresponding ID of a is equal to 16. And this is the simple formula. Now the question arises, what is the 32? Now what is integer? So let us try to understand this integer. Now this is the concept of the short integer. So Python is written in C. Pointer is commonly used to allocate memory in C. A block of code written in C is expected to be behind the integer data type of Python. Now the question arises, how the Python interpreter is allocating memory to integer. So In Python integer, what I'm doing now in the C, Python is written in C. So I need to find out the certain similarities between C and Python. Python data type and the corresponding data type of the C. In the C, we have the short integers and the corresponding we have in the Python integer. So is there any relationship between this Python integers and the short integer of C? Because in this Python, we don't have the short integers. Now, the answer is correct. Yes, you will get it. The relationship. Now, what is the short integer? So, short integer range is -5 to 256. I told you it's 255, so it is 256 from -5 to 256. This is the range of the short integer. Now, in Python, what is happening when you are saying that you want to use a integer data type to your interpreter is this interpreter is basically giving a block of memory. It is not giving just the memory required to you. It is giving you a block of memory, and this is block of memory. When if you check the code written in C, it is basically it is a linked list. In C, if you have studied the C, if you don't study, no problem. This linked list means each block of memory is connected with the help of a pointer. Now, block of code is written in C. So in C, the concept you will get, the concept is nothing but a structure. So basically, when you are declaring an integer in Python, behind the curtain, C is using a block of code. Now, what is the code it is given here? You are defining a structure as a type def structures. You are giving the name of this structure is py integer object. Then you are creating a structure integer block, and within this integer block, you are using a pointer. The name of the pointer you are giving, this is pointer to a structure. The name of the pointer is next. You have mentioned here say structure underscore integer block because you are giving or allocating a block of memory, and you are assigning a pointer next. And in the prior to the when you are declaring a pointer, just you have to give a name and just prefix it with a asterisk sign. And then what you are doing, this Python integer object, the number of object you are defining. And here you are defining the number of small integers, and number of starting point small integers is 5 -5 to 256, and this way you are allocating the memory. Now the code is written in C. I don't know the code in C. So how can I understand the memory allocations? Okay, let us come to this one. Now this is the steps the C because it is written in C programming language. So these are the steps basically C programming language that the interpreter is following to allocate this memory for this integer when you are defining a integer variable in Python. So I'm relating it with this the definition of the C or the coding of the C behind the curtain with the Python data type. The first one, the if the integer value in range of -5 and 256. So in that case, if it is true, then return the integer object pointed by the small integers array at the offset value +5. Else, if no free integer object available, then allocate new block of integer object. The next step is set value of the next free integer object in the current block of integers and return an integer object. So what exactly is happening? It is not allocating, only memory one after another. Rather, it is allocating this block of memory. When the block of memory has been exhausted, then it is allocating another block of memory. Okay, so let us take this memory allocation diagram. So all this pi integer object you can check is within the pi integer block. You will get the pi integer object, and all these pi integer object are connected with each other with a leaf, with a pointer. So this is nothing but a linked list. So first pi integer object is connected with the second pi integer object with a pointer. Now this pi integer object is connected with the third with an means with a pointer. So when you are saying a variable one, So what exactly is happening? So a is equal to 1. So by default, interpreter is starting from a is equal to minus 5 because 1 is a short integer. And then after that, it is jumping. Say from minus 1, then it will come to minus 4, then minus 3, then minus 2, then minus 1, then 0, then 1. So this 1 will be allocated to a pi integer object. And in the previous pi integer object, you will find, say this, this pi integer object is allocated to 0, pi integer object is allocated to minus 1, pi integer object is minus 2, this one. So it will be easier for the computer. Okay, this is a value is equal to 1, so it is a small integer and its corresponding address will be this. So this way it can find out. So that's why I've shown you. So if the value is a is equal to, you are assigning a is equal to 1. Let us consider. So what is happening? A is equal to minus 5. It will start from a is equal to minus 5 because a is equal to 1, the range is between minus 5 to 256. It's a small integer. So the moment it is starting from a is equal to minus 5, so a is equal to minus 5 means it's a starting point. It is taking this id, and this id, then you have to offset it because the value is given is 1. So what is the difference between 1 and minus 5? 1 minus of minus 5, so 6. So 6 multiplied by 32, so you will get 1292. So 192 you need to add with the memory address of a is equal to minus 5. Then you will get the memory address or memory ID of a is equal to 1. So it's very simple. Now one thing you just keep in mind, that is, in my case, whatever the ID I am getting for a is equal to minus 5, it may not be same as the ID you are getting when you are using a is equal to minus 5 for your computer. So this ID will change depending upon your hardware configuration. Now this thing is, in the print statement, what I did, I just printed this hello world. Now in this case, what I will do, so is it possible to print the binary number, octal number, or the hexadecimal number? Yes, this is possible. So if you say this O, this is 0, then corresponding this number is O, this is an octal number. So 010, so corresponding value will be A. So print 0x, the hexadecimal number 10, corresponding value is 16. 0b10, this is a binary number, x for hexadecimal, O for octal, and b for the binary, corresponding value is equal to 2. Okay, so what you can do, you can find out this type of the 0. This is 0, then octal number, then 10. The corresponding value is integer because 8 is an integer value. Now floating point number I discussed. It is a 64-bit double precision value. It follows IEEE 754 standard. Any value above 1.8 multiplied by 10 to the power 308 is considered as infinite, and any value below 5 multiplied by 10 to the power minus 324 is considered as 0. This is the floating point number concept. And the floating point number multiplications you can check just now I have shown. So if you are multiplying this number a is equal to 5 multiplied by 10 to the power minus 325. So the value of a is very very negligible, and it is showing the value of a is equal to 0. Because in this case, in this already I discussed, that is any value that is 5 multiplied by 10 to the power minus 324, the value is very very low, and this value is considered as 0. So that's why the computer it is showing here. Now complex number, now I can show you, that is a is equal to 1 plus 3j. So the corresponding value of a is equal to 1 plus 3j. And what is the type of a? It is a complex number. So b, if you take 3 plus 5j, that is, it will say that is a complex number. Now if I want to add a plus b, what I'm doing, I'm adding this integer part, 1 plus 3 is equal to 4, and the complex part 3 plus 5, it is equal to 8. So this value will be 4 plus 8j. So similarly, you can do the multiplication of the complex number. Now this is very very important. Now finally, I reach the last part is set. Now I'm considering the dictionary, and I'm saying mm, that is Ravi and Hari. Now the question is, you may get confused. That is it a dictionary or not? Okay. Now check, because I told you the dictionary means is a, it starts with this second bracket curly braces. But in the dictionary, I told you another thing is it has the two component. One is the key, another one is the key value. The set is also, started with this curly braces. So don't get confused with the dictionary and this set. The thing is, in the set, you will get only one component. There is no key of the value. There is only one thing, it's the value. So in the set, what I am doing is starting with this opening base and the closing base, and within this, I am saying that is Ravi and the Hari. These two, screen I am giving. Now you can check the what is the type of this name. Type is nothing but the set. Now, if you want to add a new name to this set, what you have to do, that is name dot add. You just pass a name, that is Naveen. So it will add Hari, Naveen, Ravi. Okay. Now, what is the reason? Now, if you are adding here, if you check, now earlier this thing is the Ravi and Hari, because I am putting this R first and H, and when you are adding a new name that is Naveen, it starts with A, automatically it is shorting and it is giving us Hari, Naveen, Ravi. Now, if you want to update this way, that is name update came Rao and Naresh, means you want to updating its existing set, so you can update it. You are passing a list. A list contains a several name, and then passing it to this set, and set will update it. Now I will discuss in details about the memory allocations, about the list. Now list is nothing but a sequential data. The sequential data, if you consider a, the id of a is equal to minus 5, if you find out, then if you consider this, the least a is equal to minus 5 and 16, the two values you are considering. So if you take the id of a base address is same as the id of a. Let me show you. Let me take you to this coding part and show. Let me show you this one. This is very very interesting. So what I'm doing, that is a is equal to minus 5, and I'm finding out this id of a. This is this id, and what I'm doing next, a is equal to a minus 5 value, and I'm passing any value, say 12. Then what I'm doing next, I need to find out the base id of the list on this value. Now this thing is, if you check closely, that is id of a is logically same, this logically same this id of a0. So if you use a logical operator, this is operator, so this here we will give id of a0, and this one, if you check, this is is showing it is false. Id of a is id as this one is showing false, but these values, if you check, this value, id is this one, so this is true. So what exactly is happening in case of this list? List is basically, your sequential data type, I told you. Now in the sequential data types, you are keeping everything with this indexing, so that if you pass this index, in case of this list, you will get the value. This zero is nothing but a base index. Now the same thing, what I want to show you now, the how we are keeping the values in case of this list. Is it a contiguous memory location? May not be, because in this C programming language, you will study, or if you study thoroughly, you will find, as per the definition of the lease, in the lease, the starting with this base address, it is matching with this concept of this Python. But when you are using this concept, it should be in the contiguous memory locations. It is denying. So let me find out this. What will be the ID of the one? This ID of A1 is 159768452A. So this is not matching with us. So if you want to say this A is equal to 16, let us consider, and what would be the ID of A? So this is different. See, this thing is what I want to say here. Let us come. Let us open this one. Okay. Now, the thing is, address of A is equal to minus 5, you can find out this ID of A. I developed a formula and I showed you that we are using a concept of 32. What is the meaning of the 32? We need to understand. Now, when I'm using a list with this value, the first value is minus 5 and the second value is 16, and the index is corresponding 0 and 1. So A0 is equal to minus 5 and A1 is equal to 16, and corresponding address of A0 is 14982658872, and this ID is exactly is equal to address of equal to minus 5. And at the same time, when I'm using this address is equal to 1, that is the value of 60 in the corresponding ID, will tally the same formula it is following because it is a short integer. But when I'm saying that this list A, what is the address of A? This address of A is entirely different. So how it is keeping in memory? So this is, so let me clear the screen. So this is the list. Sorry, this is the list I'm talking about. The A is equal to minus 5, and its corresponding value this one. So what is this ID list? A big number. At the same time, if you say A is equal to minus 5, and if you want to find out ID of A, okay, and if you want to find out ID of A0, and both of them. Okay, I'm getting an simple error here. So because what I need to do, I already changed it is equal to minus 5, so that's why it is giving an error. So this error you can understand because in the previous one I said that is I'm assigning a list to A, and in this case I'm assigning, I next time I'm assigning an integer value minus 5 to A. So if you subscript here, so type error, there is subscript is 0 because it is only one value, it is not a list. So what you need to do, if you need to assign minus 5 and 60, and if you pass it this one, and if you say what is this ID of is 0 15976 and this one. So let me clear the screen. So now you have the ID of A0, and this value is this one, and if you assign A is equal to minus 5, and if you want to find out this ID of this one, you check line by line, both of them are the same. Now A0 is a list, and this is this one. A very strange similarity here. The simple thing is, when I'm declaring this list A is a data type, it's keeping in a separate memory locations, but this A0 element is basically a short integer, so it will follow the same memory allocation style of the short allocation. What I'm saying, A is equal to minus 5. Minus 5 is a short integer because the value is between minus 5 to 256. But what I'm saying that is A is equal to at least the first element is minus 5, second element is 16. Both the element belongs to a short integers. It means the A0, the base address, it contains a minus 5. This address will be same like A is equal to minus 5. And this is this opening, and I'm showing you here. Now, similarly, I have showed here this memory allocations for the dictionary. So those who are interested to learn more about the dictionary, please go through this slide. You will get an idea. So what I'm doing, that is a is equal to minus 5. Now you can understand here. So a is equal to minus 5. So I'm getting this ID. ID is equal to a, that is 149826587. This is the ID. Now I'm creating a dictionary. A, Harry. Harry is a key, and the corresponding value I'm giving minus 5. Ravi is the key. Corresponding value I'm giving 12. So if I want to find out this ID A Harry, A is a dictionary now, and this key value Harry, the value will be minus 5, and this corresponding ID I'm getting 149826587, and this ID is same as ID A is equal to minus 5, because the moment you are assigning a value, this value is equal to a short integer, and the short integer, the memory locations allocation style I have shown you. And if you say that is a Ravi, the value is 12, the corresponding ID will get 14982664616. So as per the thumb rule, these two values are short integers. So what you need to do, the ID for a minus 5 is 149826587, then plus, then what is the offset value, means the present value is 12, you are starting from minus 5, so 12 minus a minus 5 multiplied by 32, so you will get 14982664616. So this will be the new memory ID for a is equal to 12. So whether you are using a dictionary or the list or the tuple, whatever you are using, if the value is a short integer, the memory allocation style will be same. But there is an if. Now what is this if? What I will say, so when you are saying this list, a dictionary, list is a data type, dictionary is a set data type. So if you directly want to find out, instead of this indexing A0, A1 this way, if you want to find out A, you will get a separate memory ID. And the separate memory ID is given to instruct this computer, this A is a particular list. This A, maybe it's a particular dictionary as per your declaration. So the computer could understand whether it's a list or the dictionary, etc. So that's all in brief about this Python and introductions to this Python, about this memory, different data type, different operators, then list, set, then dictionary, etc. And if you go through it if you go through it, you will get a basic introduction, the fundamental introductions to the Python. I'm not touching anything with this coding. The coding is very simple, and the simple coding I have shown you, that is print hello world, is your first application. We will learn more in this next presentation. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can send it to my you know email ID. I will share, and I will share you the presentations also. You can go through. I will share you the code, so you can check the code and you can learn. Thank you very much.